Okay, so hi friends. Today we are understanding basic differentiation. So to understand basic differentiation, we know the slopes. So slopes are generally difference of y coordinate change in a y coordinate divided by x coordinate. So whatever change happen from uh, particular point to another point, so the difference is basically our slope. So we are just taking a limit delta x and this is a basically one formula dy by dx. So you can get this formula from anywhere. Uh, Basically, when we do this all calculations, so final things we are getting 2x plus delta of x. And here delta x is actually very small. It's very close to zero, the closest value to the zero. So 2x plus delta x, generally delta x will be negligible and output will be 2 of x, which means if we have x square and if x is y is equal to x square and we want to do the differentiation, then it will be 2x. So x square differentiation will be 2x. From this formula we got it as a 2x. So that's why we will consider dy by dx is equal to 2x. So we are not going to do all this theorem every time. Instead of writing this with the help of the limit, we will simply use the dy by dx. So what is the meaning of dy by dx? That simply you can remember a particular formula that d of a of x power n by dx is equal to a of n x to the power n minus. So whatever power will be there, that will be subtracted with the minus one, and the actual power will be multiplied. So a of n. So actual power got multiplied here and x to the power n minus one. So this is basically our formula. Anything will be there. So just an example, it is saying the dy dx of 5 of x to the power 4. So 5 into 4, x to the power 4 will be subtracted here. So just you can see here basically that we are what we are doing here. We are just subtracting that particular value and we are getting that uh, actual output. So this is our differentiation basically. So we just have to understand the how the dy by dx comes into the picture. So it comes from the slope. We know the value of slope, and now because for that particular slope we want to take it for the limit x is equal to 0, which means the change is very close to 0, and for that we derive our formula. And when we derived, then we found that this should be the formula. We just have to remember this formula. Okay, we are good, I think. Now let's go to the another portion. So basically the one another things we wanted to understand that as we got the formula, so we just have to remember some of the very basic uh, values. So just I want to give you, just give me 1 minute. So if you go here, so yeah, just you have to remember this some of the points. Like here it's mentioned some of the points like what will be the value. So see the constant. If it is a constant, then dy by dx will be 0. If it's x, then 1. Why 1? Because x to the power 1. So 1 minus 1. So basically it is x, and x to the power 1 minus 1 is equal to 1. So that's why x differentiation of x is 1. Same way differentiation of a of x will be a square 2 of x. So basically power 2 minus 1. So basically if it's x square, then what will be the differentiation? Simply we have to just remember it. It will be 2 will be multiply. 2 will be basically multiply n x. So like this we have all this formula and we just have to remember all this. What will be the value differentiation of log x? What will be the value of the um, ln x? So basically without base, with base. Trigonometry is related like sine cos tan. So we have some formula for this. also differentiation. So we have to just remember this basic formulas. Okay, I think we are good. Now let's jump to the some of the very common questions which comes into the differentiation. So generally many times people ask questions that find the maximum. So you will be given a particular equation, and the question will be asked that find the maximum height. So basically, if you will have a graph, so in that graph, what will be the maximum point? So what will be the maximum point? So what it's trying to ask that this is the like maximum point here. You see, this is the maximum point. So in this for from this equation, we are getting this graph, and in this graph, question is what its maximum height? What will be its maximum height? So in general, if you don't have a differentiation, then it's very difficult to find this particular solution. But with the help of the differentiation, we can find it very easily. How we can find? So let's assume h is equal to this d by dt and h. Now we know that differentiation of constant is 0. It's 0. Now differentiation of 14t, t will be again 0, and 0 means 1, so it will be 14, and 5 t of a square. So 2 will be multiply 10t. So 14 minus 10t. So this is the equation we got after differentiation. And this you can say the slope also. See, now find the slope, find when the slope is 0. So basically this is a slope. What I initially explained you that differentiation of something is nothing but a slope. Correct me. Now what will be the different value, the slope with a different value of t. So for example, if we take a find when the slope will be 0. So suppose I am taking that this slope value as a 0. So we will take a 0 as the equation, and we can calculate t. T is equal to 1.4. So the slope is 0 at t is equal to 1.4. Correct. Slope is 0 at 1.4, which means height will be, we can put the value of t in the given equation. This is our equation, 3 plus 14 into 1.4 minus 5 into, so actual equation. Put the value of t into the actual equation, we will get the h. So whatever h come now, 12.8 is the maximum height actually. So you can see here 12.5. So this is the slope. This is the slope at 0. What is the value at a slope at 0? So when the slope at a 0, whatever come at the slope at 0 is a nothing but a maximum value. It's a maximum height. So generally in exams you will get a lot of questions related to them, that you will be given an equation, and the question will be find the maximum height of that particular graph. So we can find, how we can find, we can differentiate the equation, and after differentiation what we will get, we will get the slope. Correct. So this is our slope, this is our slope, and we know for slopes s is equal to 0. So whatever value of the slope 0, whatever t we will get, that is actually maximum height. Whatever that, for that is for the maximum height. So we'll put the value of t and we'll get the maximum height. Generally in same way you will get lot of other equations also, and there it will be asked. So you just have to differentiate it, equate it with a 0, and then calculate the value of t or x, whatever it is, and then you will get the output. So this is a very simple differentiation I have said. We'll go little more deeper and uh, more important points related to differentiation.